Hello everybody, welcome back to Far From Alone. I've been up to a little bit of mischief. We're just making our way slow 30 meters per second in the direction of home over there. Just a little catch up. I'm not going to give you a montage this time, but I'm just going to put it in a little box just over there somewhere. The Mayday signal that was next to us when we took out the Reaver in the last episode. Whoa, 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 what are you doing? I said no montage. Turned out just to be basically a steel hull, a few little bits in it, nothing much. So I stopped and ground all that down. That's now sitting as iron ingots in my cargo box. Let's just have a look at our... Oh, wrong box. That's the wrong box too. It must be this one. No, that's the wrong box too. Give me a second. Yes, it's in a large cargo box now. Ingots. We do have 32 uranium left, and I think I did somewhere... Where is it? Yeah, we've got 6 rounds in the railgun. Refinery is still processing the scrap from before. I managed to make 25 rounds for the railgun. And we do still have uranium left, so that's all good. We've now got 75k ion thanks to that wreck, and we're doing okay. We're okay, but we could be better. So I'll just give you a catch up. I've been playing with this decoy thing, which I managed to do when I finally stopped, and thank you, Mr. Wellington. Pointed out that I could have attached, I haven't got any steel on me, but I could have attached blocks to this subgrid and built out from it in order to get the connector in place and then build it and lock it. And we already have a Reaver. Looks like he's getting further away. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him. Yeah, it's funny when you're recording, you forget these things that are so obvious. Immediately as I was editing the video, I remembered I could have done that, and that would have probably been a lot easier. Anyhow, let me give you a little tour. So we've got a small connector straight into a small hydrogen tank, and yeah, I'm not very happy about using that much hydrogen. But at the moment, I'd rather do that than build thruster components. So I'm probably going to refine this design a little bit as and when more resources become available. So we've got a timer there, a small battery obviously, a timer here. So one timer, I think it's... Yeah, so that timer just simply does the launch thing, so all we have to do is trigger it. And that fires this thing off. Now, at the moment, it is releasing this magnetic plate, which is not ideal, because obviously it's on a separate grid, and every time you rebuild one of these, you're going to have to program it again, which I want to redesign that. And the other thing, obviously, is I have no way to weld this up. So I think maybe the magnetic plate is a bit unnecessary, given that it's connected through a connector. We'll have to see how that goes. So once fired, these thrusters are on overdrive, and they will just force it out at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Initial tests were interesting because I tried to do it without a gyro. I thought, you know, if we just throw it out in a straight line, it should go in a straight line, but it doesn't. It went a certain distance away, a few hundred meters, and then it just went round in circles repeatedly forever. So I had to put a gyro on it. And the little bit of clang that you get when we do release it tends to throw it off at an odd angle. But I haven't actually tested it, let's just say live. So that would be interesting to see. And if we get a Reaver coming too close, I think I would probably do that. Now the other thing is this timer here waits for I think 10 seconds. Let's get the right buttons. And what do we want? Decoy. And decoy antenna on timer. Yeah. So assuming that it accelerates up to 100 meters per second as soon as it leaves, 10 seconds is a kilometer. And I think that might be a little bit close. So I think 25 seconds is probably more realistic. That's about 2.5 kilometers. Because we want to make sure the Reaver is attracted to it and not to us. So assuming we can fire this when the Reaver is more than 5 kilometers away and in a rough direction of the Reaver, I think that's more realistic. The reason I set it to 10 seconds obviously was in order to test it. And I didn't want to be waiting for hours. But we'll give it a try as and when we need it, but I am intending to do a complete redesign. For one thing, having it exposed on the back here is not ideal. Okay, right, lastly, I did repair this gunship, but I haven't done any modifications to it. That's a pleasure yet to come. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to keep our eye open for, obviously, more Mayday signals. Reaver's finally gone more than 10k away, but I'm betting he's still around somewhere. And one of the things I would really like to do is to make this ship wider. It's very cramped. As we're collecting stuff, I'm running out of places to put it. The problem is the way I designed it with this multiple level thing, it's not exactly easy to just move the walls. I would have liked to have just basically cut it down the middle and put, you know, a few blocks sort of in the middle of it, pushed both sides further out. But that's not as easy as it sounds, especially as it would mean disabling the ship while I do it, and that's not something I really want to do. So I thought what I might do is start with the solar panels and get them pushed further out. That's also going to involve moving the thrusters out, but then I can round off the wall, perhaps, at least make it a little less square. So that's going to be quite a lot of work. And all of this kind of has to be done while we're traveling, and that's also not ideal. So nothing really ideal about this. We are still 25,000 kilometers away from home, and hopefully in today's episode we will reach the 25,000 kilometers and make it 24 something thousand kilometers, but we'll see. So yeah, power hasn't been a problem. I've actually been quite surprised. Let me get some energy and we'll just have a look at the batteries. So obviously the white ones are all the ones on the ship. Apparently I never renamed those. Don't need that. So yeah, fully recharged in 13 minutes. Now I know we're cruising, we're not using engines or anything, and I think the refinery's probably finished. But yeah, batteries are holding up well, even with those few solar panels. So that's nice. However, we need to redesign things, and I'm not sure the best way to do that. Ideally, these panels are going to be built into the side of the ship. I think we can probably get rid of that for now. So yeah, I did go with a rather odd shape for the ship, didn't I? Kind of threw it all together just to get going, and now I'm regretting certain decisions. We're going to have to come to a stop to move things like the thrusters, I think. So probably be easier to come to a stop to move the solar panels as well, but I need to find a place where we're going to put them. So what have we got here in terms of... So if we take that as the middle, then we've got... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is the top, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 is the bottom. So that is definitely the middle there. So if I were to bring that out at least another one, would that work? I think that would work. But another one isn't going to do it. So let's assume that's what we're going to do, and we'll rebuild this and see where the end lies. Got plenty of iron now, so I'm not too worried about doing this. Let's go back to our black and battered. So I'm thinking if I come out at a 45 degree angle, something like that, and then that, and we're going to have to put one in there, and then that, and then one in there, and then that. That brings us out 2 blocks. So where does that leave us from the center? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same the other side. So that's going to increase our internal area by, well, that wall's coming out here, so essentially 4 blocks. That's an improvement, isn't it? Let's go with that. I think just before we do, let's get a block in there. Don't have my good welder on me at the moment, so just do it like this. Steel. Okay, so do the same the other side. Obviously these turrets are going to have to move, and then bring the top down. Yeah, sorry, thinking out loud. So we're going to bring that across there. Obviously the thrusters have to come out. Well, actually, yeah, because otherwise we don't gain the extra space, do we? It's all about making room. Yeah, and then now tidy this one up. After going to all that trouble to work out which blocks to use, taking them off anyway. Okay, so we're going to round off the back. Can't really do that with the decoy there now, can we? And yeah, I did notice that I'd missed welding that up again. Editing is a wonderful thing. I kind of need to go up at a 60-degree angle here, I think. So that's going to be those things. And that one, yeah. And then I think if I continue that up, obviously gun's in the way, or rather it's in the way of the gun, but you're going to have to move the gun anyway, so
energy low.
keeping my eye on the edges of the screen, just looking for more Reavers. Hopefully they're going to leave us alone. And while we're on the subject of Reavers, something else I did. Is that everything? Yeah, my light on so you can see it. I put a landing gear. Now that's the only place the landing gear will go, because I may want to put more railguns either side, so I don't want to block that area, and obviously there's not enough room underneath. But as you can see, now we can't use the camera, so I'm going to have to move the camera off to one side. But I'm not willing to try squeezing down that gap to do that, so I'm going to come at it from the inside and take off one of these blocks. I think the thruster should be fine because it's next to another thruster, and I think they stick together, so that should be okay. But yeah, that's critical. Definitely something that needs to be done with urgency. And let me just get some energy, because if we do get hit by another Reaver, I want to be able to at least stand some chance of taking him out. Oh, we passed a Mayday down there somewhere. And it looks like we have drifted off. Thank you for all the comments, by the way, and again, I think it was Wellington6012 said that what I should do is I should take off the inertial dampers, put on the inertial dampers, then accelerate. And obviously I don't want to go up to 100, so I'm just going to boost in that direction, let the ship settle, get back up to 30, and switch the dampers off again. And I will say I've already done that, and as you can see, it continues to wander. It's very slow, but it is still wandering. So yeah, I don't know what's causing that. Very annoying, but guess that's something we have to live with. Right, we've already flown way past that Mayday, so I don't think there's much to be gained by stopping. So what I am going to do is just take this block out here, hopefully without losing that thruster. Here we go. Then I can get to the camera, which should have had a name. I'm actually going to call that rear railgun, because you never know, we might have others in the future. And we'll copy that. Then we will, if I can find it. Is it on there? No, I always get the wrong one. It's that one. There we go. Sure it's the right way up. We actually had enough components. And then pop the name back on. So that should, I mean, it'll be slightly off, but it's no further off really than it was. So hopefully that'll be all right. And I don't think, if we're putting more railguns on, there's not much point in building up armor around the guns, I don't think. So I think I'll leave that. Right, where are we? One of those. Dirty yellow, clean. There we go, all fixed. Yeah, you see how cramped it's getting down here already. And comment on the gyros, by the way. I do have 2 gyros. There is a third one there that requires... What does it require? Yeah, 50 metal grids. I think that's why I stopped at that point. Not that desperate for it. Well, I seem to be able to control things okay. Apart from the fact that we keep drifting off. I don't know whether that's something to do with the gyros or not. Right, where was I? Yes, you. I could just detach this, but I think, as far as I remember... Hang on, before I do anything with it, let's switch off the conveyor system. Come on, thank you. Rescue its ammo. Yeah, I could detach it and re-weld it, but the components it takes, 15 metal grids, we'll probably get a lot of those back anyway. Yeah, we got 12 back anyway, so I think for the hassle, it's just easier to do it that way. And if you're like that, then we just want to bring you out 1 block, don't we? So I think maybe I'll leave that conveyor junction in there, and we'll just put another one over the top of it. And let me just get rid of some of the scrap. Be processing that. We got it? Yeah. Yeah, it might be handy to have another conveyor junction in there anyway, so... Okay, and then stick our turret back on. I think it's that way. Yes. And I'm going to remember to place the settings back in before I weld it up, so we don't go shooting anything that it shouldn't be shooting. More components. There we go. It should be all back to normal. We don't have one on the bottom there, because that's where I... Ooh, we're at Vulture. Yeah, that's where I put the thruster. He is getting closer. Just gonna have a look at him. I don't think he's going to bother us. But where are we? Starboard, maybe starboard side. I think that's the one I've just replaced, isn't it? Can't actually. Yeah, they're usually pretty heavily armed, those things. think we'll just see if he'll blow past. I'm not sure there'd be any advantage to attempting to capture him. He's still closing, we'll keep an eye on him. Yes, we're going to have to repeat this on the other side, and that's going to be difficult with our decoy in the way. So how can we finish off this top and still keep it kind of round? It's not really round, is it? But it's rounder than it was. Alright, so this is going to be our new wall. I'm going to keep this to the black so that when we're chiseling away from the inside we can tell which is the outside wall. So I'm going to be going up from here. Probably with one of those. Maybe? Just wondering whether I need to put a block in here, because we're going to have one of these thinner ones. Oh, no we're not. Yeah, we can't put a block in there, so yeah, there's got to be a block in there. And that means presumably there's got to be a block. Yeah, so we can't put one in there either, so we've got to block all the way around that, haven't we? It's kind of annoying. Alright, let's get those welded up. Getting further away now. He's fine, we'll let him go. Sure, we can find some easier prey somewhere. Of course, this does mean his arc of fire is going to be somewhat restricted. Not a lot I can do about that, is there? Those on there. Those on there. And that one there and there, I think. And this one is now kind of redundant. So is the one below it, because that's behind here. The one below that, yeah. Just going to remove these now so that we can see what we're playing with. Okay, I'll leave the structure of that one there. I think we'll see that from the other side when we get to it. So that one goes in there. Okay, and then we should just be able to round the top off. I'll have to change the back there, but as far as the top's concerned, I'm going to go back to our dirty yellow. And then that one, that little thing. Although that might, it might change when we do the back. Anywho, you get the idea. So I'm going to go and repeat this process as much as I can on the other side. I'm a little bit unhappy with the way that turret just obscures the rest of the bodywork here. I think it might be a good idea to bring it even another block further out, even though that's going to make it very, very proud. And maybe make a bulge for it to sit on or something. I'll have to have a think about that. So I'm going to copy that onto the bottom here, and maybe have a crack at the other side as best as I can with the decoy in the way. And if something happens, I'll bring you back. If not, I'll see you when I've completed all of this nonsense.
Energy critical.
Yeah, welcome back everybody. We got a Reaver coming in fairly fast by the look of it. So yeah, we've already drifted off, which is kind of nice in this instance because I need to turn around pretty damn fast if my camera will behave. And decoy launch timer. Trigger now. And oh, that didn't work. Is the mech plate still locked? Decoy unlock. Yeah, the mag plate didn't unlock. And he's still coming after us. Gonna have to accelerate like crazy. Okay. Is he gonna continue coming after us, or is he gonna go after the decoy? That's the question. We are losing him rapidly. Just gonna swing around here. To at least point in the right direction. Okay, looks like he's taken the decoy. Now we need to get out of his range. Although, to be fair, I think we probably are already. So I'm gonna just stop our drift here and at least head for home. Yeah, he definitely locked onto us then, and there was a problem with launching. I think it looked like the mag plate didn't unlock from the timer on the decoy, which is, well, annoying to say the least, but I suspected... Oh, he's gone. I did suspect that might be a problem. I don't like having it locked that way. But now that we've got rid of the decoy, apart from the fact we now need to build another one, it gives me an ideal opportunity. I'm just going to let the ship stabilize here a minute. There we go. So I'm going to accelerate without unlocking the dampeners. Go back up to 30. Then switch the dampers off. So we'll see if that still wanders. I think, yeah, looking at it, it's already wandering. We do have sparks coming off the gunship there. Yeah, we're already wandering, so I don't know what's going on with that. Say normally I would blame that on subgrids, but it was doing it before I put any subgrids on the ship, so it's just weird. Anyhow, crisis averted, but we do need to get on with the decoy. Yeah, I think it's just that. Yeah, that's rubbing on the bottom there, isn't it? We need to repark that at some point. Anyhow, I'm not going to worry about that for now. Let me show you, I was very nearly finished with the modifications to the back end. Just got a bit more welding to do, sort of bracing it. And obviously we need to redo this. This is not a permanent solution. It was never meant to be a permanent solution. So let me finish off just welding this bit up. And one there, and then I wanted to change that one. I'm just going to put a full block in there. Okay, so just building out the back really. Not sure what's going to happen with the thrusters yet. I don't think they'll be staying there, but actually they might. If I do a similar thing to what we did with these, that might kind of work. And if I put a thruster there, and the same on the bottom, that's a lot of backwards thrust for the ship this size, so that actually might work. I'm going to get rid of this mag plate because it doesn't work, and now that we know we can actually build just off there, I actually don't think I'm going to build it there, but we'll see. So yeah, that's basically what I've done with the back end. I've tried to round it off and make it less of a brick, but these turrets being 3x3, ideally we'd kind of have them down the middle where they're right on the edge, and the thrusters would be, you know, top and bottom. But then that limits how many actual guns we can put on the ship, which may be a good thing, or maybe a bad thing, I'm not sure. I seem to have forgotten to weld that block up, so let's just do that while I see it. And probably did the same the other side. No, I did do that one, okay. Yeah, so it's kind of, it's developing. The colour scheme, not very happy with. Kind of looks a bit Bumblebee-ish. Black and yellow, may end up changing that. This block here, by the way, we don't have a block that fits in that space and matches this one. There just isn't one. You can use the sort of standard, what I call number 3, but then it obviously sticks out over that one. So I thought the best thing to do is, if you can't hide it, make it a feature, and I figured that kind of worked, ish. So yeah, that's all I've done. Haven't actually done anything else. Unfortunately, I'd used these blocks here, yeah, those blocks along the top, and I did use these different ones on the bottom. As you can see, those are that type, which was easier to match, so I'm going to have to kind of replace all of these blocks along the top, which is really annoying, but relatively unimportant in the scale of things. Right, the next thing I need to do then is, apart from finishing the back end off in some way, we need to come up with another solution for a decoy. Somewhere where I can aim it, maybe, rather than having to turn the entire ship. And can we actually make thruster components? That would be a blessing. Actually, let's just get rid of those. Don't need all that. In fact, get rid of everything. Yeah, you can see me drifting here. Like, I don't know why it's just continuous. Even when I'm in mag boots, look, I'm drifting. It's very strange. Oh, now my mag boots have let go again. So yeah, thruster components. We need gold and platinum as well as cobalt. This drifting is very strange. See how far off we are. Like, really? Why? We're supposed to be flying in a straight line. And I started off perfectly straight without any sideways drift. Yeah, so accelerated and we're already drifting then. Hang up. Annoying. Right. Yeah, we don't have anywhere near the quantity to make thruster components. We've got 149 gold, 92 silver, and only 25 platinum. Now, each one. Oh no, I didn't want to make one. Each one requires 0.13 platinum, 0.33 gold, and 3.33. Now they do only take one. I think they only take one thruster component for a small grid, small. We don't have any. But I might be able to get away with just one, and then I wouldn't need to pipe it up. So could we build it up through here? Yeah, at risk of blowing up things, aren't we? Something's clanging awfully badly. Yeah, we drifted off again. Right, I'm going to come to a stop here and let's try and figure out what the heck is going on with this drift. Right, according to the speed, we're at 0.00 meters per second. We are stationary. This definitely needs moving. So, that on, take that off. Oops, wrong way. Gosh, this thing is twitchy as heck. Alright, let's come down. Stable yourself, please. Alright, are you clanging now? You are very, very close. Okay, let's tilt you forwards. Ooh. Way too much gyro action going on there. Right, you're definitely not clanking now. Okay, dampeners off again. Alright, these two should be fine because they're docked. There'd be nothing going on with that. So the only other thing we've got is these things. And what I could do... don't really have anywhere convenient to store them. I'm thinking if I merge block them, I could just release the merge block. It's kind of a bit inconvenient, but might be better than what we've got. Let's try a couple of those. And I'm going to keep them well away from the thrusters So what have we got there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as long as we're in front of that, we should be good. And to give myself plenty of room to maneuver. What the heck was that flash? Something still not happy. Okay, so if I put the hydrogen tank there, and kind of a bit obtrusive, but I can't think what else is causing us to drift like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with the oxygen tank. I'll have to find somewhere to put that as well. Okay, we're supposed to be stationary. Why am I drifting? Thank you. Right, one thing at a time. Let's see if we can get this. Careful how I dock to this. I mean, this tank is full, so it would actually be nice to pipe it in. Should we do that? Should we just connect it on the front? I'm thinking maybe if we just dock it onto the front there, that gets it out of the way, gets rid of the magnetic plate, means we can use the hydrogen if we need it. And let's put the stockpile on that one. And you're jiggling about all over the shop. Oh, I hate these clanging noises. I think maybe, judging by the way that bounced away then, we had some clang going on that. Something's definitely clanging. Didn't used to be able to do this because the connectors wouldn't work if the grids weren't powered. But not a recent update, but in an update not that long ago, they changed it. I think magnetism should hold that, so I'm going to back away and let that stabilize. A little bit wary of having lots of things loosely floating around with Reavers about, but what can you do? Right, you lock. And I'm going to take that off again. Yeah, that's just kind of going to be in the way. So we'll leave it on stockpile, so we know we've got that as a backup. And then this thing, don't think we can put Oops, 8. Yeah, we can't put one on the top there. I've got the stuff. I haven't got the stuff. Have I got the stuff? Apparently I don't have the stuff. I'm sure I grabbed enough stuff. Apparently I still don't have enough stuff. What's going on? You need steel plate, and I've got the steel plate. It's weird. Giving me a red outline as if I can't place it. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't place it there. Does it matter? Do I actually need? I don't think I need it. I'm just a bit worried. Yeah, it is allowing me to place it there. If I put it on the end here, when it merges to the other grid, it's going to connect something along the top there. But according to the steel block, we can put one there. Okay. Interesting, it was giving me a red outline. See how that gives me a green outline? Don't know. Right, so I need to get hold of this in a different direction. Need to be low enough not to bang my head on the roof. It should be okay there, I think. Lock there. Why won't you lock there? Aha! Okay, so wonder if oh yeah, this is clanging as well. Look. Private sale down there, that shouldn't be a problem. Now, I'm not certain, but I think these do need to be powered. Oops. Gently does it. That looks like it's going to play ball with us. If I could just get it in the right place. There we go. And we broke something. Okay. That told you there was some clang going on. Blew the front of my ship off. Interesting. Where did the other piece go? Oh, there you are. Yeah, something was very clangy there. I'm not sure what. And I'm not even sure my cockpit is still attached. Yeah, my cockpit is still attached. It's a miracle. Okay, that was... what the heck was that? That was one of these. I really should paint this ship, shouldn't I? So we've got one on the top. I think that's right. Don't think it matters which way those are. Yeah, I need some stuff. Okay, double check. Right, I'll rebuild the front and the little mag plate afterwards. But at least that gets rid of some potential clangs for now, because now they're merged, everything's one grid. So that's that bit. Sure, I'm straightish, and lock and dampers off, and let's get rid of this. Which at least allows me to continue building on this side and also make use of those thrusters as and when we find a hole. So the only thing left that's a problem is this thing is banging and clanking. At least I think it's this thing that's banging and clanking. Shouldn't be colliding with anything there. What I'm going to do is just lift off a little bit, just so that we can still lock, but it's not actually physically touching too far. Like that. Tails off the ground. Knock it down there. Dampers off. We'll see if that improves things. And of course this could go as well. Okay, so only thing left to do then, having messed around with all of that, is to see whether it still drifts. Let's just get rid of this stuff. And I want to move this cockpit as well. Again, thank you for your comment. Somebody suggested that putting it further back would be beneficial, and I completely agree. Just not sure where. But now we've moved some of that stuff out of the way. I do have the ability to pipe in from there. Thinking maybe of putting our decoy somewhere in the middle there. So perhaps if I maybe bring that forward a little bit more. That's the middle of the ship. Something like that. And then ooh, we're running out of steel plate. Let's some of those go in. Yeah, I'm thinking if I just pipe it directly in from there, because we're maybe going to need a welder for the decoys in the middle there. So if I, yeah, that's the right place, isn't it? I put one of those in there, and then we'll just pipe across to that, pipe across to that. goes there, and we can put the cockpit on the top of that. That sound like a plan? Oh, come on, let's do this the fast way. Where are we? 7. I'm using these cockpits for now. This obviously won't be staying here, but it's just easier and quicker to give me an oxygenated area. Not ideal for a ship of this size, but it saves me worrying about, you know, trying to make an oxygenated area and then having to move it because we're changing the design of the ship and that sort of thing. So the only thing I've got on here is ion thrusters, the ability to switch hydrogen on and off, and what the heck is that? Oh, that's the anchor for stuff. Okay, so get rid of that one. And dump that stuff. Take me a while now to get used to having this cockpit here, but yeah, that's much better, isn't it? Move around now, see what we're doing, and let's line up with home, rotate to the sun, which is for some reason all the way over there. Figure when the shadow appears on the roof, we must be lined up. Okay, so let it stabilize, accelerate, and dampers off. Alright, so that's everything I can think of doing to fix the drift problem. I can't think of anything else that could possibly be a cause of it. If you've got any ideas, please let me know. Anywho, I'm running out of time rapidly and I want to get on with a decoy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to make a decoy, hopefully that's deployable, but if not, at least one that's up on the roof that we can point in a requisite direction. I'm going to do that off camera simply because of time constraints, but I will give you a detailed analysis description of how it works and how I've designed it in the next episode. But yeah, that's kind of it for me. Just before I do finally sign off, let's see if we're drifting. So normally if I stand here and there we go, let's face the sun, shall we? Yeah, so normally if I were to stand here I would be sort of floating away, as you saw at the beginning of the last episode. That all looks pretty stable to me. So yeah, I think we had some clang going on with the mag plates, and very well we obviously had clang going on judging by the front of my ship here. But using these connectors for that, which I think is sensible, although I've now lost the use of my camera of course, means that hydrogen is available for use should I need it, assuming it doesn't get blown up. The oxygen tank here is, I think, empty. Actually, yeah, that's empty and ready for use. So all we've got to do is disconnect the merge box, and then I can take that off and use that as I did before. That's about it. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed that. Bit of a building episode, and yeah, I hope to see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.
Galaxies watch me float away, and this night turns into day.